So I rather.
But I just want to make it very clear too. I'm just so, man, y'all got to do better.
Nah,
Place more value on y'all penises, on y'all worth. Y'all are worthy too. Y'all are valuable. Y'all don't have to have sex with everything out here.
Facts.
Y'all really don't. And then, like, remember somebody else had said this, the whole, like, the more you stay single, the worse, like, it is going to be for your relationship and be married. Because a lot of times when you're single, you mess around with, like, women who are married and you be the side dude. But it makes you, like, mistrust women. I feel like it's the same.
It give you PTSD. I don't know if I've ever told you any of these stories, but I have stories of just, like, you would look at women, like, totally different when you realize what they get away with and how they get away with it, and then how they would just have you in the situation, like what they do after giving you the cheeks.
I thought it'd be really helpful to have a timeline because there's just so many details being added and things being mixed up. Okay, and we'll go through each thing one by one, okay? You guys are going to watch this. I recommend turning over the screen because I do show a lot of the conversations via text, but I don't always read them out. 2025, August to January 2026, that's where Libertine, the Filipino, comes in. We meet in August. By October, we're in a relationship. We've also had conversations at this time about what would happen if she ended up pregnant. So in November, we find out she's pregnant. I tell her I want to keep the child. She tells me she wants to keep it, but she's unsure. From that point on, for the next 2 months, she flip-flops between unsure and doesn't want to have the child. At no point does she really tell me she wants to keep it. Every attitude and everything or conversations are always, I don't know, or I don't want to. And obviously this is difficult on me because she changed her mind a lot. She scheduled multiple abortion appointments. I flew down to support her. Despite disagreeing with her, I was always going to support her through the abortion if she wanted to have one, even if I disagreed. Claim that Libby makes is that during this relationship, I emotionally abused her. She references an incident that happened January 2nd. She tells a story. Personally, I think the only reason that she told this story so confidently is because she was not aware that I had recorded this incident.
And another comment about, like, girls being hot in Spain and just something like that. And
you were talking about how attractive other girls were in front of you?
Yeah, he was like, I went to Spain and, like, Spain has the hottest people. And he was like, the women in Spain are, like, really hot. And we had talked about this before, and he says stuff like this. And then I get upset, and then I leave the house, and then I come back. But I do pack my things because I'm like, I'm going to go.
I'm going to be honest, bro. That ain't really something to get that upset about. Now, I'm not reaching or moving the goalposts. I'm just talking as a man that's married. My wife and I, we talk about shit like this all the time. In fact, a lot of the thumbnails, a lot of the videos where you see them big booty women, she the one sending me them shits. Now, maybe we might have a different type of relationship, but how many times have you been out there walking with your girlfriend and she'll point out a chick and she'll be like, oh, she's okay. She's fine. What you think? So I'm not 100, you know what I'm saying? Like with that aspect, y'all reaching. Even Stevie saying that, oh, so he's talking about other women are hot in front of you. Y'all reaching, bro. I feel as though couples talk about stuff like that all the time.
Somewhere else. But I do come back, and I was just like a little angry, so I went to the coffee shop next door. I do come back, and he gets so upset with me. We start fighting again.
What did you get upset with? Was it a coffee shop?
Because I left, yeah. And he got so upset, and I was trying to explain to him why I was upset, and he just wouldn't hear it. He didn't understand why I was upset or mad. Things would escalate. I'm trying to explain it to him. He's like, no, you left. You need to get out the house. And I'm trying to tell him, like, why don't you see why I left in the first place? And then it would rile up, and then I start crying. And then he does the whole mocking and yelling and screaming thing. And I know that's hard to imagine, but, like, just refer to
it. It ain't hard for me to imagine after hearing that goddamn phone call, so.
Yeah, so the phone call is just, like, a preview to what I experienced a lot with him personally. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel safe. He would yell. He would scream. I was pregnant in Montreal. He kicked me out. I was pregnant. I had no signal outside. I was locked out the apartment in Canada weather.
The argument wasn't that big. She makes it sound like I was like, man, there's fucking the women in Spain are so hot. And that's not what happened. We're just talking about how people are attractive in different places. You know, in some places you'll find the men are more attractive. In some places you'll find the women are more attractive. She got upset about that. I go to the room. Time goes by. I go outside. She's gone. I go look for her. Can't find her. And then I realize she packed her bags. and took it with her. So over a minor argument on the final day that we were spending time, after she's just traveled a good 9 hours to be here, over a minor argument, she packed her bags and she left. Was that?
I'm going to give an example of this just from my relationship. 2018, we went to Miami. This was my first time being in Miami. Now, we were going to Grenada and we had a layover in Miami. I remember us being at the airport and I remember my wife being like, damn, the people in Miami are attractive. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same shit, bro. Like, everybody look good out here. We looking at the TSA agents that work on the airport, the police women had fat asses. I remember I was pointing out women with nice bodies. She was pointing out women with nice bodies. She was pointing out the dudes too. And I was kind of like, some of these niggas look a little sweet. But, hey, I'm a man. I'm not finna be sitting. You could point them niggas out, but I ain't finna be looking. I ain't finna be, oh yeah, he's hot. I'm not finna be doing none of that. Ain't no crossing the street activity going on here, okay? But I'm just saying, like, that's certain things that couples talk about. So for her to make a big deal about that is kind of crazy. Unless you went in, bro. Unless y'all had a conversation about a woman that you might have took down in Spain that she didn't know about and she ain't trying to hear about none of your past exploits. That's the only how I can see her getting that upset.
Upset? Absolutely. She claims that when she came back, I was upset because she left. I don't care you left. I think it's normal in arguments. You want to take a walk, take some space. Packing the bags to me was a bit far for me. She comes back. So now she's claiming I was screaming, I was yelling. I was verbally abusive, and then I kicked her out, and I left her outside as a pregnant woman in the Montreal cold. And I said, freeze to death.
And personally, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel safe. He would yell. He would scream. I was pregnant in Montreal. He kicked me out. He has his reasons for it. I was pregnant. I had no signal outside. I was locked out the apartment in Canada weather. And then it would rile up. And then I start crying. And then he does the whole and yelling and screaming thing. And
you tried to book a hotel and it didn't work? You clearly didn't just go to get coffee. So what happened? You booked a hotel and your phone didn't work, so that's why you came back?
It wouldn't even work down there.
Right.
So she came back and she says, I'm like, where were you? And she's like, I only came back because I didn't have any cell service, but I wanted to book my own place. So not only did she just disappear like this, when she came back, she's kept acting weird. And at this point, she starts talking about it doesn't feel safe. So me, a woman says anything like that, that's a wrap. You don't feel safe in my home? I'm not going to keep you here. Especially you, a tiny woman, I'm a black dude, I ain't playing that shit. So I said, cool.
So you might be seeing someone's reaction spliced into this. The reason why is that this person ended up interviewing Libby. At the time when he interviewed her, he had not seen my recording, but she had.
So because you couldn't book a hotel with your phone, now you want to stay here?
Do you want me to go?
I do want you to go. Yeah, you were trying to book a hotel, now you're coming back pretending like you didn't want to go. So I don't need that shit. Leave. If you want to leave, leave. Absolutely, actually. Let me book it for you. You tripping. Shit, you staying here just because...
This is me yelling. Keep in mind, I'm close to the mic and I had to boost the audio because her voice is so low. So you think this sounds loud? It's because I boosted it as much as I could so y'all could hear her.
Absolutely, actually. Let me book it for you. You tripping. Shit, you staying here just because you couldn't get cell service? Oh, hell no. So I'm going to book it for you. I'll pay for the Uber and everything. I'll make it super easy. Exactly. So now you don't need the cell service. I'm going to book it for you.
Let me know when the screaming
You're
starts.
tripping.
At one point, she starts to move to another room for no reason. Her shit's there in the living room. She moves to another room, okay?
I consent to receiving additional...
Stop yelling at her. Listen.
I don't know what she's doing, but she's not. I don't know why she just went to that room. You're not doing that.
I don't know what she's doing in this other room.
All right, I booked it. I booked it. So let's go. You're not staying in this room. It's cold. Let's go.
No.
Hey, I booked it.
No.
She said no.
No.
Hey, I booked it.
No.
What do you mean no? You're going to stay at my place? I already booked the hotel.
Just cancel it.
I'm not canceling it. You need to go. You want to leave? You can leave. Hey, get up out of here. You know what I mean, yo? I just want you to leave. I just want you gone. Why are you staying? You're wasting my time. That's it. That's a wrap between us. I already booked your hotel. You need to go. I'm terrified I kick you out of my house, but this is happening. You're leaving 100%. You're definitely not staying in my house tonight.
Are you guys terrified yet?
We're not doing this back and forth, on and off bullshit. I ain't doing that. Let's go.
I didn't.
I booked the hotel. You're leaving 100%. Okay, well, listen, don't even call the cops.
And don't forget, guys, I don't have any obligation to. I booked her the hotel. I want to make sure she gets home safe. Her flight tomorrow is already set up. She has all the information. I booked the hotel in her name. I made sure everything is good for her. Because a woman tells me, no, let me just say this.
I don't agree with that. As far as you saying you don't have any obligations to, I can't say that. If a chick comes to visit you, it don't matter how that situation pans out, you have an obligation to make sure she's safe. Y'all not hanging out no more. She do something that make you uncomfortable. Even though she made you uncomfortable and you don't want nothing to deal with her, booking her that hotel and making sure she gets to that hotel, that's your obligation. That's going to keep her safe and that's going to keep you protected. Because God forbid she walks to the hotel or you kick her out or she leaves. God forbid something happened to her. That's your fault. Regardless of if you didn't pull the trigger or if you didn't kidnap her and put her in the van, that still would be your fault because you felt as though you wasn't obligated to put her up in a hotel or whatever. So you did the right thing. Fellas, you go on a date with a young lady, the date not going well, understandable. Make sure she get home safe.
If a woman ever ushers the word to you, I don't feel safe in their urine crib, they gotta go.
That's a
If
fact.
they don't live in town, get in some accommodations, keep it safe.
Yes.
I don't play that shit.
Yes.
So when she said that goofy ass shit to me, I said, you gotta go. Now, I was stern, but I never yelled. I never started screaming or mocking or whatever.
You're yelling now.
I'm not doing this lengthy argument. Please leave.
Please.
Go stay at the hotel. Go do your thing.
Okay, I will go.
Yes, thank you. Let's go.
One sec.
Now, guys, remember this next part.
It didn't feel right. It didn't feel safe. He would yell. He would scream. I was pregnant in Montreal. He kicked me out. I was pregnant. I had no signal outside. I was locked out the apartment in Canada weather. And then...
So I locked her out in Canada weather, left her to die. We're about to get her the Uber so she goes to the hotel. Watch what happens. You need a hotel. I have texted her the confirmation for the hotel. She has the PIN number. I sent it to her. But she's saying, no, I'm going to figure it out. But she already has the information.
All right, then. I'll send you the details.
My phone didn't work, so I don't... Whatever happens to me.
No, you chose this. No, you.
What happened? No, she's unhinged.
What she
This
said?
is unhinged. This is actually unhinged, y'all. My phone doesn't work, so whatever happens to me, fine.
Yeah, because she wants him to be like, no, you can stay. Whatever happens to me, fine. It's more,
She's not getting in the Uber that he got for her.
Yep.
That's toxic manipulation. She is definitely toxic as fuck. Now, we haven't really gotten to the other girls that's involved yet, but when it comes to her, when it comes to Michael Jackson, Sneeko with the wig on, she is toxic. If you have never been in a situation like that, you don't know how scary that is. If you've never been in a situation where I've been in a situation where somebody was too drunk and couldn't control their liquor and tried to jump out my car. I was trying to take them to their house. They wouldn't tell me where they live at. I'm like, yo, where you live? And what made it worse, and I'm telling y'all too much of my damn business, but what made it worse, bro, is she got so upset, she started beating me up in the car as I'm driving, right? And then she took her fingernails and dug in my face while I'm driving. Doing about 60 on 85. And she trying to open my car door. And I got my hand on the wheel and I got my freaking hand. Literally, bro, she's hanging out my car, son. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? I had to get off the exit, pull up. I'm like, bro, where you live at? Just tell me where you live at so I can drop you home. I can't just leave you out here. You drunk as hell and you acting crazy. She's like, no. I don't think I've ever been that scared in my life. I was petrified. Deep down, I'm like, yo, bro, she dead ass tried to kill herself out my car. If she jumped out my car, somebody would have said I pushed her out. If I leave her here and something happened, they gonna find my DNA under her nails. What am I? I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I had to call my mans on the phone as a witness. So the whole time I got my mans on the phone while she acting crazy. I'm like, yo, bro, can you please talk to her, bro? Can you please talk to her, bro? And she just, you used me. You used me. And now you want to, bro, oh my God. So yes, if you have never been in a situation with a female that is this unhinged, you don't know how scary that is. To be honest with you though, I don't know how you like dealt with her and then started dealing with the other joints afterwards. Because after dealing with Shorty, folk, after dealing with that chick, bro, I was choking the chicken for months. Bro. I ain't want to deal with another female. Other joints that I had on my phone, I'm like, nah, I'm straight, bro. I don't want to talk to y'all. I didn't trust no chicks after that, dog. I don't know if that was your coping method to start dealing with all these other joints. You know what I'm saying? That part I'm holding you accountable for. Maybe you have an explanation for the other joints that you dealt with after her, because you said there's a timeline. But I remember dealing with Shorty, going through that experience, and bro, I was profusely choking the chicken. Like, I didn't want to talk to nobody on my phone. I was on calling. Usually I used to call joints up like, yo, what you doing? You want to hang out? You know what I'm saying? You want to come to the crib and chill? You trying to go on a date? Whatever. I was not doing none of that because I didn't trust a soul.
And she's not going to the hotel.
So wait. So the whole time you left your sofa then?
That's crazy.
Of an incident so completely different from what happened in a way that like you are not trustworthy at all. That is deeply problematic.
And you handed him his reasoning. You handed him his reasoning for everything, for all of this stuff.
But it means you were willing to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like paint a picture of an incident so completely different from what happened in a way that like you are not trustworthy at all.
Every time I break up with her, she's always putting herself in danger, runs outside in the middle of winter with apparently no cell service, and does a damsel in distress act. I was going to get her the Uber to the hotel, which is under her name. She didn't want it.
I have never tried to commit suicide because he broke up with me.
So these are the text messages. This is the booking confirmation that I've sent her. Here is her texting me after running outside like a goofball, and she goes, my phone is going to die. I don't have service. Then I'm like, come back to the building. I'll get you an Uber. I'm in the lobby. She's going, are you getting this? I can't call or text. I'm lost. I don't have navigation. My phone is dying. Where everything is a dire situation the moment I want to end things.
I don't have navigation. My phone is dying.
She's getting these texts. She's replying with everything but where she is or whether or not she's coming back. Okay? Mind you guys, keep in context. This is 7 p.m. downtown Montreal. There's stores everywhere. They said you haven't. So I called the hotel because she hasn't responded for hours now. I've called 20 times, looked everywhere, but you're refusing to let me help you. I hope you're safe. 2 hours later, she gets back to me. I'm not sure you will get this, but you just got my phone to turn on, and this place is closing, and someone here lent me their charger for a few minutes. I still have no battery, no service. You know I'm not dressed to walk around here, and I've been out for. So now it's my fault.
You guys know this doesn't make sense, right? When he offered her an Uber, he offered her a hotel. It does not make sense.
This whole time, I've been asking for her location. She will blame me. She'll write these long messages about her distress state. It's never a location. It's been 5 hours. You've texted me you're lost 6 times, but haven't sent me an address or the name of the store you're at. And what does she text back? You knew this was going to happen.
He goes, okay, so you want to argue, not actually lost or in danger. That's my status. I'm not safe.
Manipulation. Manipulation.
Olivia, I know you watching.
Libby, hang it up.
You
Libby,
playing fire too much.
hang it all the way up.
You saw how she told the story. I kicked her outside. I left her to die in the cold weather. I was yelling. None of it's real. The way a lot of this other stuff is real, but a lot of it's he said, she said. And because she's a pretty girl who talks calm and she recorded me on my lowest, she can make whatever narrative. At the time when he interviewed her, he had not seen my recording, but she had.
I want to know if while you are in the house, he just says, get out, lock the door, whatever, kicks you out, and then it's like, oh, Uber and hotel after he felt bad. Or if he's like, please leave my house. I booked you an Uber and also a hotel. Please leave my house. Those two things are different. But the way you tell a story on Stevie, I'm going to play this again. It sounded like he kicked you out. And I don't think it is right to not include that he kicked me out and sent me to a hotel.
Okay, from what I remember is him walking me out of the house and me walking out in rage because he was walking me out, so I'm upset. So, because what my memory is could be different from like Abba's memory, but I don't remember having the hotel or the Uber. I remember leaving and not knowing where I was going.
And based on the information you have now, he did get you a hotel and an Uber.
I got that once I walked enough far away to get my own hotel. And then I was like texting him, trying to text him in between, but I couldn't because it was so spotty. So once I got to the hotel, it was like, oh, he got me a hotel and an Uber. When I get to the hotel, I start to see all of his messages. And by that point, I'm thinking he really kicked me out because I didn't see the messages.
But wait, where did you end up going?
I ended up walking like 45 minutes away to a hotel.
And you booked your own hotel?
I did, yeah.
All right.
3 days later.
Absolutely, actually. Let me book it for you. You tripping?
Shit, you say this is me yelling. Keep in mind, I'm close to the mic.
Okay, Libby girl. So Libby came up here and straight up lied to my face. Libby said Abba did not book her the hotel room. She didn't know Abba booked her the hotel room. Abba kicked her out in the cold, in the Montreal cold. Yep. The way that the story was framed is that he...
Okay, now, when people lie to you, right, and they feel as though they about to get caught up in a lie, the first thing they say is, from my memory, from my recollection, so how I remember things and how he remembered things might be different. That's just to put a pillow under the fact that they telling a blatant lie. I'm not going to hold you. She is dangerous. Out of all the girls that has came forward, Shorty is dangerous. And I know that hurt. Regardless of how we feeling about this situation, and again, I'm a fly on the wall. I'm trying to remain neutral. I feel as though this is none of our business, but I'm giving everybody a fair shot. If I'm going to react to Stevie's video, I'm going to react to Abba's video, okay? I know Abba is hurt. I am surprised that he has not broken down crying on video yet. Reason being, after they started dealing with each other, you started to get to know her, you realize, oh, nah, she's manipulative. I got to get away from her. Right, that last phone call, that one of those videos I reacted to, he was trying his best to get away from her. He's like, yo, what do I have to do to get rid of you? I just want to get rid of you. Like, just leave me alone. And here we are on the internet, bro. I'm guessing he thought he got rid of her. And here she is. She made sure that they are connected forever. And I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all are connected forever. The internet at this point is forever. These videos are going to be up. As long as the internet is up, which I believe is going to be, it ain't going nowhere. These videos are going to be up forever. This is going to be a part of your legacy. She made sure of that. And I know that's killing him inside.
He was yelling and abusive and kicked me out. But that's not true at all.
Nope.
No.
Like, not even in the least bit.
No.
You know one thing that's interesting watching this back now? If you pay attention to this timestamps, she was texting me as if she was lost for 4 or 5 hours. But she admits in this interview that she found a hotel in 30 minutes.
Where did you end up going?
Damn.
I ended up walking like 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes away to a hotel.
So the whole time she was like, oh, I'm dying, I'm in danger, all this stuff. She was in a hotel room sipping Chardonnay.
Damn.
Playing a damsel in distress.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm stupid.
You want to know something? No one would have believed Abba if this was not recorded.
Facts.
Because I would not believe.
Yo, listen to me. I was probably the only person who has evidence to defend himself. Now, a lot of us have our bias towards this situation because we have came on the internet and seen women just destroy men. We have seen women destroy men in high places with lies. There's a lot of dudes right now who have lost their career because a young lady got in her feelings and told some half-truths. Libby was telling some half-truths. This was a clear situation of somebody who was tired. And she brought that toxic behavior to the internet. Regardless of how you feeling about Abba, I'm pretty sure we all can read through her nonsense. The only thing that we can say is because of how he talks on his videos, and this is everybody's argument, because of how he talks on his videos, you should have known better. With all the YouTubers making videos about the situation, they're trying to destroy his moral image. I don't even think they care about how dangerous this situation could be. This could be a situation where one girl come out and a few others come out, and then now we have 30 people that came out and said, yeah, he did this to me, he did this to me, he did this to me. It could be bitches that he has never met. This is where the situation could get dangerous. Look at the Bill Cosby situation. Bill Cosby's whole image got destroyed because of stuff that supposedly happened in the 70s. Now, you out here drugging bitches, that's crazy. But there was one young lady that came out. I think the lady, she was a model. She used to be on America's Top Model. She was one of the hosts. She came out and said she lied. But it was too late. The damage was already done. So as a man, bro, and I'm still trying to stay neutral, and I feel as though none of us is our business, we have to be very careful the type of attention that we're giving this. We have to be very careful. Yes, we can sit here and hold him accountable because as a grown-ass man, you shouldn't be shooting up random joints raw. You shouldn't be doing that. Strap it up. Strap it up, bro. But the attack on this man, it almost feels as though it was orchestrated. And I'm going to be honest, bro. The ringleader is Libby.
I would just be like, oh, please. Abba. Well, I would say, girl, please to Abba.
And that's the truth of this whole situation. Like, if I hadn't recorded this incident, no one would believe me.
That's a fact.
About how it went down. The presumption of guilt is just on me, no matter what.
Facts.
And if I am not, like, neurotic enough to record every incident, and it doesn't matter how much he lies or how much he gets caught in 4K lying, people are still going to believe it, because at the end of the day, that's just the way this dynamic works. So now all of this has happened January 2nd. January 9th is now the breakup. January 9th. That's the call where she hits me up. And you have to remember, during this period, there were multiple suicide attempts on her end when I would try to end the relationship. And she'd do that often. So this is during one of her many, many attempts to, like, off herself. She says, I'm sorry for offing our baby. And I reply, you threatened to off yourself 5 times now. She goes, I'm offing our baby, remember? And I meant off the baby. I don't know. These are really hard to read. She writes, and then by the 24th, I would have offed the baby. She wrote, I'm going to off the baby, LOL. She quotes, I'm going to, quote, do what I have to do and off the baby, low. And then, off a child too, you're right. I'm going to off myself. And this is why I chose to not have the baby. I'm sorry, meant off the baby. She writes, hey, listen, you're going to be all right. Sorry you met me. And sorry for offing our baby. You're going to be all right. I don't know. She just does a lot. And she'll claim that it's like, oh, no, she's just using it because it's my words. No, she would threaten to off herself. I'd have to call the cops. And I'm like, you're going to off yourself, you're going to off the child as well. I don't know. Whatever. I just want to do these. I think that's hard for people to understand, but for me in my head, when someone has threatened to our child multiple times, when they've threatened multiple abortions and changed their mind, when they've changed their mind about having the kid, have never really intimated to you that they wanted to keep the child for the entirety of the pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, and you said initially that he wanted the baby, but so you really had him on this, like, seesaw effect. Like, if you're gonna have this baby, you're not gonna have this baby. So I can imagine that emotional toll on bro. So why the flip-flop so much?
Yeah, I honestly empathize with him. I did see how much Abba was wanting the baby. And I empathized with that. And I also was thinking about...
Wait, she admits it. Oh, that sucks. That... Girl, I'm getting back to the streets. This woman, oh my God, Livia, I'm glad you're not here today, because if you were, this would have been a problem. I saw how much he wanted all this time I've been operating under the assumption that Abba kind of wanted her to have an abortion.
Because you suggested the abortion first, right? It came from you. Why did you want to have the abortion in the first place? Why did you even come up with that idea?
Yeah, the only answer to this is just my human response. And the abortions, did you still want to know the answer for that one?
Yeah.
I had the 4 abortion appointments total, right? Which was the one he came to. And then the 2 after that. And then the one after Montreal. But it wasn't 9. And it was all within like that month because I was trying to decide what to do.
It is very difficult to feel like this person wants a child at all. But in my head, I'm really not in a good mental space. Obviously, I'm broken by a lot of the changing of the minds and her constantly sending me off to a different world every time she threatens self-harm. So after we end the relationship, everyone says, Abba, you crashed out. You started losing your mind after she broke up with you and she said she was keeping the baby. I was blindsided. I was definitely hurt. I was upset. I was upset because this person had convinced me to stay in a relationship when I thought we weren't compatible and I should have left. And she keeps me roped in using self-harm. This person had put me through the ringer. And yeah, I definitely felt betrayed because she'd never told me that she wanted to keep the baby until the moment she ended. Now, did I crash out? No. Literally, when she told me that, I said, okay. And that was all. She then reaches out to me to want to figure things out. Now, mind you, I'm still reeling for things. I'm emotional. But I just tell her very calmly, there's nothing that's happening, and they're in the text. I'm not interested. If you change your mind now again, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved. And I go on to say, you've already cut me out so many.
It's taking a toll on him. She's getting what she wants. I'm going to be honest, bro. If he drops another video, he's going to break down on camera. If he does another live stream about this situation, he's going to break down on camera. She is getting what she wants. I'm guessing everybody that don't like Abba is getting what they want right now. I'm pretty sure if Stevie watched this video, he might have seen this part and said, yes, nigga. Yes. Myron, I'm surprised Myron isn't covering this more. Like, I am really surprised that Myron isn't going crazy with all these back and forths. I have a few questions. So my first question is, how old is Abba? Right? I'm pretty sure Abba looks like he's about my age. And he doesn't have kids. Okay, so I am pretty sure deep down he was excited to have that child. My second question, and I think this is probably the most important question. Where did you meet her? Where are you meeting these women? Because I don't feel as though you having enough time to vet these people before you let them in that close. Are these fans? And there's a difference between supporters and fans. A fan will do this to you. A fan is somebody who's infatuated with you and they want to be involved with you any way they can. Usually when you see rappers and politicians and famous people in general lose their career and lose their image, it's because they let a fan too close. Somebody who's infatuated with the idea of you. And honestly, I was thinking that before because that last video that I reacted to, the one I dropped yesterday, in one of those clips where she was talking to them girls, their thing was, yeah, he's not who he portrays to be on camera. Brother, stay out them DMs, bro. Stay out them DMs, my brother. Because a lot of these joints, they don't live in Canada, right? One of the girls lived in Virginia. One of them lived in, South Carolina. The other one lived no, I think you said the white girl lived like where your family lived at. And this girl, Libby, she from California. Are you meeting these joints over the internet? Stay out them DMs. Stay out them DMs. Stop dating your fans. Prime example of what will happen to you if you start dating your fans.
Times. If you want to do this on your own, like you always said you would, go ahead. And she says, fine, I will. She says that she's going to do it on her own. And I say to her, stop contacting me. So I referenced the fact that she'd cut me out of the pregnancy arbitrarily. December 17th, which is well before the end of our relationship. I write to her, she says, you have a say. And I say, I really don't. This is just like the night you told me I'm out of the pregnancy. So there's been two different incidents in which arbitrarily she'll make a decision and she says, I have no involvement, no say. So I want you to understand that trying to negotiate with someone who can so easily tell you that doesn't make you feel like you can really negotiate or work with this person when they can so willy-nilly tell you you're out. And then I go and say, just so we're clear, if after changing your mind for the 10th time, you decide to have it, I will not be involved, we will cease to talk then. Then don't be, she goes on to say. Understood. And she's already told me that I was not going to be involved in the pregnancy multiple times on a whim. So then I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm done. You're not going to hold this thing over me and keep me in this relationship with this pregnancy. Okay, so now there's the recorded call that she had. So this is, I believe, January or 10th. So this is right after the breakup, okay? I've cut contact. I'm ready to move on with my life. I'm sure there's going to be financial obligations. I'm ready to sue them. She knows that as well. But she now wants to have a whole different setup. She goes on and begins contacting me incessantly. I haven't yelled at her. I haven't said anything crazy. I just said, don't contact me anymore. I'm moving on. She begins blackmailing me. She contacts everybody. She contacts my work. She contacts a bunch of YouTubers I actually know. Contacts the ops, sends me from different numbers, all these different pictures. You guys know this part. And all I keep saying to her is, stop contacting me. She was emailing YouTubers. She claimed she only emailed 3. She emailed way more. She was sending people pictures of my home. She claimed that I was forcing her to have an abortion. Forcing?
I wasn't planning this for a long time. The catalyst to me wanting to come out was April.
Now, we ended our relationship in January. I want you guys to pay attention. She says April is when she started this whole thing. It says, hi, I'm contacting you on behalf of my friend who's dating Abba. She wanted to know if she can get your advice and understand why Abba forced her to get an abortion. Do you understand how illegal that is to force someone to have an abortion? That never happened. That never happened. I also want you to think, one thing that's always very tough for me. The breakup happens. She tells me she's going to handle it by herself. Maybe she's upset. She's feeling all things. She's changing her mind. She's changed her mind a lot throughout the relationship. I'm obviously grieving. I feel a lot of pain from everything. I can understand things are messy. Cool. Why was her response to go straight to blackmail, to go straight to contacting the ops, to go straight to emailing YouTubers before we even had that call? Within 24 hours of breaking up with me, she was already emailing people. I said,
that plan was already in her back pocket if she couldn't use the baby or the suicide attempts to control you. That's all it was.
Hey, listen, this is what I prefer because you keep changing your mind, but do whatever you want. Where's the forcing? But she knew what she was doing. She's not there asking these YouTubers for advice on how would these YouTubers know me?
Facts.
Why would you ask random YouTubers who I've never met in my life about advice about me? That's not what she was doing. She was already going out there to spread some salacious story about Abba forcing a woman. This goes on for about a couple days, and then the call happens. You can feel however you want about the call. Me personally, I'm not proud of the call, but I'm not ashamed either. If you listen to that call, what that call is somebody who's at the end of their ropes.
Yeah.
After being blackmailed, after being harassed, after being asked to be left alone and not being told I can, after going through the multiple suicide attempts to keep me in the relationship I tried to leave so many times, after threatening to kill her, I'll kill the child, LOL. So after all of this.
And even in the phone call, you just hear him saying, I'm harassing him, I'm stalking, and I'm a parasite.
All the harassment he's referring to happened within 2 days.
Yeah.
It's 2025, December, which is not consistent with her claim that it only happened in January 2026. You're going to see this goes on for a long time. And then it culminates with a call to the San Jose police, which is where she lived at the time. And so I had to call the cops on her because she was threatening to off herself again. This is in 2026. You can see all the different calls. So this is February.
Which were the 4 phone numbers And I think my cousin also again tried to contact him the next day, which was one of the same phone numbers. And the Ab and Preach page and Preach 3 days later. But there wasn't any other time that I tried to contact him.
These are many Instagram accounts. This is some of the profiles. I had to block a whole bunch. She had a lot of Instagrams. Okay, so these are blackmail threats. She began texting me through a lot of different people. You know, she after recorded some of the stuff, she's threatened to send it to Myron Gaines. She would use this weird app that would generate more numbers than I could delete. So the numbers you're seeing here are just the tip of the iceberg. There's actually more text messages. She's been contacting me as recently as last week from a new Instagram she had just made recently. Yeah, the idea that she only did it for 2 days is a flat out lie. That's when you hear me on that call. Yeah, I was upset. Was I upset on that call? Absolutely. Was I absolutely insensitive and mean? Yes. But why was I mean? And I think this is part of the gender bias that I see with a lot of the coverage, because I know for damn sure if a woman had decided to keep the child, or maybe even have the abortion, and the man who told her that she can do it alone, then began harassing her, began blackmailing her, demanding,
they'll call for his head.
There's not a damn person on this planet who's about to get on these interwebs and start calling her out for how she responds on that call. There's definitely gender bias. Absolutely. The way people have glossed over all her harassment and blackmail, the way people have glossed over her threats of self-harm, her manipulative tactics to keep me in the relationship when I try to end things, her threats to kill the child. Yeah. When people judge the call, I don't mind, because it is wrong what I was saying. After being told that your partner was going to kill the child dozens of times, holding that shit over you to control you, to me, and I really felt that by the end of the relationship, and that's why I was pretty good with it. She didn't want to have the child. She could talk about my values were to keep the baby or whatever. She had the abortion. I had no say in it. She ended up having it on her own. I ended up finding out February 5th that she actually had the abortion. She tells me that she's had it on January 23rd. Yeah, I guess there's a narrative that I was just so heartbroken by the whole thing that I just became angry because she didn't want me. Bro, I don't know what this girl wanted. You know, she says this relationship was horrible, so I had to end it. He was so horrible to me, and he treated me like garbage. And so that's why I'm ending the relationship, and I'm keeping the baby. Like, I don't want to move to Montreal and deal with that. And so I'm like, all right, then, you know, go keep the baby, do your thing. She ends up getting the abortion anyways. And then she wants to move to Montreal after the abortion. The last thing I want to do is be inconcerned. I keep doing that. I mentioned that I said today about quitting my job and everything because that's how I felt about it. The everything and how I felt about it was moving up here. And I reference it at the bottom because I say, you're saying you want to quit everything and want to move here, followed by the issue is, and then we start going to other stuff. I'm like, you're not moving here. Like, this doesn't make sense. This whole claim that I was cheating is nonsense. Libby herself said that things in February weren't together. That's in her own video.
That month of February, we weren't together.
But that ended January 9th or 10th. She's only now claiming that we were together so that she can use the fact that I was talking to different people. But at the end of the day, if I'm a single man, that's not right. I will say one of the big L's I take for sure, when I found out about the Instagram, she claims that it's only from February onward. I don't know. I think what was bothering me about the Instagram was the feeling that I had just gone through something really crazy with this person, but I was okay with it, or like I didn't really have any ill feelings towards her, mostly because I thought she was a stand-up person. And I think when I realized that she was lying to me about what she was up to, I just felt like the whole relationship, she was fraudulent to me because who she presented herself to be was just not real. But still, then the end of the day, still my L's not my business. So fast forward to 2026 after ending things with Libby, that's when I meet Kiara. So with Kiara, after talking for a few weeks, we meet up. She ends up getting pregnant, wants to keep it. I'm supportive, despite her offering for me to disappear and not be involved. I had never blocked her after finding out she was pregnant. She just ended up having a miscarriage. It really affected her. You can read the screen text on here. I don't have to be part of this pregnancy if I don't want to, but I always told her I would be. I would be supportive. She says a couple positive things about me right here. And yeah, from that moment, we talked pretty regularly. She'd have her medical appointments because she was having some health issues and bleeding, and I was talking to her the whole time. Yeah, so the whole idea that I would get someone pregnant and just abandon them is not true. Just a couple positive things about me right here. So in 2021, I meet Azure the Amazon. When I say I mean we collabed online. We did a stream together. She would ask me for advice about different things. We talk about it.
Hold on. All right, so this where we got to start holding you accountable, my brother. You met a chick after a few weeks, y'all raw dogging. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hopefully you touch on this and you see where folks could look at you a little wonky when you doing that. You can't, you know what I mean? And then on top of that too, right? So now that makes sense why she's joining in on the smear campaign. A miscarriage is a big deal. I don't know if any of y'all has ever been around a young lady who's had a miscarriage, but it's a big deal. And some women don't recover mentally from that. Now this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense on her part. Of course she's going to jump in on that. I'm not going to say all young ladies go mental after a miscarriage, but yeah, miscarriages, bro, they be fucking shit up. Personal experience, my mother, I ain't going to say my mother really had a miscarriage. Do you consider that a miscarriage? Anyway, my sister was born. My sister died 2 days later. After that, my mother and my stepfather's relationship was never the same. My stepfather started cheating on my mother. My mother went into a deep depression, and my mother is about 60-some years old now, and she has never recovered from losing that little girl when she was 28. She was 28. My mother lost my little sister when she was 28. My sister was born for 2 days. My stepfather since then moved on, had some kids. I believe one of the kids passed away. And I think the lady that he actually had the kid with, she passed away too. I just found that out the other day. Now we have family friends who has had one miscarriage, the baby was born, but the umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. And the baby, y'all know what happened. Anyway, situations like that can affect women mentally. With that being said, it's understandable why she's jumping on the smear campaign for Abba.
Their lives, cool. There'd be some flirting here and there. So yeah, 2 times when she visited Montreal, she wanted to meet up. I said no, so we just didn't meet up. Second time, we were both seriously considering meeting up, and we never met up. Nothing happened between us. Early on, she tried visiting Montreal, and I'm actually coming tomorrow morning. What area are you in? You can ignore me. And I said, I will, don't worry. Now, might seem harsh, but we're joking. So now we're in the final act, okay? Here's what happens. She's obviously wanting things, and I go, and then she replies to me with something that's really weird. She says, I could have easily fucked you over and said you brought me on your show just to fuck me. Mind you, we never met up once. We didn't share nudes, nothing. And I was like, oh shit, this went left real quick. And she goes, I didn't go left at all. I'm like, you've been saying this is just light and not serious at all forever, which she did. She would say this very often. In my head, I'm like, well, why would you threaten to blackmail me? And so I said to her, now this is weird. Please don't be texting me going forward. I prefer it. Yeah, just cut contact, and I haven't spoken to her since, even though since then she's contacted me a few times or tried to. Lady, we never met up. Nothing happened between us. So in 2023, that's when I meet Steffi, who lives out in Switzerland. We only met up one time, and then we cut contact. I didn't hear from her until many, many months later, and that is when she tells me that she was both pregnant and had an abortion. Was it mine? Was I involved? I have no idea. That's what she claimed, and all I did was assume that she was telling the truth, and I consoled her, okay? And the reason why I say that is, like, during that long period where we had no contact, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's up to. Me and her had reconnected a second time, and we met up again. I find out that she's in a relationship. I told her, if we're going to do anything, you got to be single. Yeah, even though she was in this relationship, she was definitely being flirty. And she writes the message, I'm kind of in the process of ending a relationship. I want to say it has been drawn out for logistical reasons, but really the reasons are deeply banal. Français, c'est banal. Like birthdays, family events, finding a good, respectful moment or whatever. That said, I'm loyal. I don't want to become a pre-cheating cliche. Neatly pivoting into seeing someone new 3 seconds later strikes me as spiritually cheap. But I say fair. I wouldn't support you cheating either. So no worries, I want you to be good regardless. And she goes, you wouldn't cheat with me? No. Now, in her defense, I think that last line is her being funny, all right? But yeah, she was definitely being flirtatious. She sent me a picture of him and her together, which I thought was so odd, considering that we'd already been involved in the past, me and her before. So, kudos to her, I guess. She wanted to be casual. She kind of intimated to me that. So the second reason why I'm not very trusting of this person, when me and her cut off contact the final time where I decided not to ever talk to her again, she was upset with me. She wanted to keep trying. So when I tell her I'm not interested, she tells me, I want you to delete the videos, the intimate videos that we did between us. when we were in the bed and I'd filmed those videos, she intimated to me afterwards, right in that bed, that she didn't enjoy it, but she was uncomfortable with it, which I'm like, cool, makes perfect sense. So what did I do? I went right to deleting it in that moment. So when she asked me this at the end, I told her, listen, I already deleted it before. And then she goes on to say, well, I need proof. So I show her my gallery. I show her my recently deleted, right? And she says, well, I want to see your hidden folder. Because now I feel like, you called me a liar or whatever. Like, and also I don't want to show her my hidden folder because I had personal stuff in there. So I ended up sending her a screen recording of my hidden folder despite me not wanting to. And I could kind of guess I understand because from her perspective, intimate videos and photos of someone you were with, like after you guys stop being together, you delete them. And I fully believe that. Tell me how I find out that during a live stream with Libby, not only did this woman keep intimate videos of me, she was sharing it with her and the person that was in her hotel room.
Just fuck that shit. But I don't want to make it bigger because then they'll like see the rest of.
There's not a video.
Long time ago.
She just showed me a video from ABBA.
How nasty do you have to be to demand that somebody deletes videos of you? Which I respect. I always do this with anyone I've ever dated. I don't keep intimate videos of them. But then this girl has the audacity to keep shit of me. Not gonna lie. That was nasty work, but the L's are...
Hold on. Isn't that revenge porn?
How nasty do you have to be to demand that somebody deletes videos of you? Which I respect. I always do this with anyone I've ever dated. I don't keep intimate videos of them. But then this girl has the audacity to keep shit of me. Not gonna lie, that was nasty work, but the L's on me because you should never send videos of yourself. The only person out of all these people who claimed I emotionally abused them was Libby. She was lying flat out about the vast majority of the incidents she was referencing. Look, if you want to say I deserve L's for not using protection, sure,
Yes.
Absolutely. If you want to say I was an L for staying and engaging in that toxic relationship with Libby, sure.
Yes.
You want to say I need an L for playing fast and loose in these streets? Not an issue.
Yes.
But a lot of this other stuff is just make-believe. And for me, for the medical stuff, because I think a lot of people were asking, like, was that just a lie, Abba? I went through something pretty serious medically involving my kidneys and my testes in 2022. It was ongoing for quite some time. I already showed it to a few content creators because some people were asking me for proof or whatever it was. But I'm just not really interested in showing my own medical tests on the internet. Listen, after my relationship with Libby ended, I'm not gonna lie, I was moving a bit crazy. Yeah, I'm still, the abortion really affected me. That whole dynamic of being certain I'm going to be a father and being with somebody who's constantly threatened to kill your child, that shit took a toll on me. It fucked me up. And I just wasn't good. I will figure that stuff out on my own, but that's just not something I want to do on the internet. When we think about abortions, I think we only think about the women being involved, but I can assure you, it being the first time I was ever involved, it was tough. So it also feels like a lot of people are arguing it's a straw man of me. I think on my channel, I mention all the time how often I make mistakes, how often I fuck things up in a relationship, how often I'm the one who's the one in the wrong. It happens all the time. There's literally videos I would say I was wrong. It's okay. I was definitely wrong in this situation in many different ways. And I think we've always said this when we've covered a lot of celebrity-related stuff. Like, you don't know these people. You don't know what's going on in their private lives. You don't know what they're dealing with. And I'm no different. You guys might know parts of me. You guys might know some things. If you watch us long enough, I think I've already spoken in the past about my issues with condom use. It's not something I'm proud of or whatever it is, but that's just the truth. It ain't pretty, but I mean being honest. That's on me for not protecting myself or not protecting the brand, different things. But at the end of the day, these are all adults. These are all consenting people. That's all I'll say.
My wife said that too. My wife said that, hold on. Let me get my wife to come in here and say something right quick. Because the way she talked about it, it makes sense. All right? And now, mind you, she's not a fan of Abba and Preach. Babe, you sleep? Damn, I just wanted you to come say a few words. You remember what you were saying about the situation with those young ladies with Abba?
Yeah.
I just wanted you to come just touch on that. You know, I remember with how you said it, it made a lot of sense. If I said it ain't gonna come out as spiffy. You know, your word gymnastics is a lot better than mine.
You and this word gymnastics. Oh, you gotta find a better phrase, babe, because I'm not a liar.
In this situation, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying you put words together nicely.
Thank you, husband.
Damn, this video probably gonna be about an hour long, son. All right, babe. So, we back. Come here, wife. Sit down on daddy lap. You know what I'm saying? All right. So you remember I said another woman came out and said that she was pregnant for Albert. That was the video I did yesterday. Okay. Now I just reacted to a whole hour-long video of him explaining everything and the timeline of how everything transpired. He did come out and say that, you know, he's holding himself accountable
For thinking he invincible.
And
Ain't got the penis of steel.
No, being the raw dog champion.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. But what did you say about the ladies? Because I feel as though that, embodies everything.
Nah, I mean, I just woke up and it ain't coming to me. I just remember saying that I felt like here's what I was saying. I was saying that I feel like it's different. Girls like that kind of irk me because they don't hold themselves accountable. Mm-hmm. We was talking. He was saying, most women don't move like that. They just,
they wash their hands off.
Yeah, they wash their hands off. Because, again, they hold themselves accountable. Because every time you speak ill about the person who you was with, you say, all their flaws, it's like a reflection of you. Because it's showing where, you didn't catch it. Most women, they're going to take that L and going to take that loss and turn it into a lesson. So, the next relationship, the next person they deal with, they choose better.
Yeah.
But I feel like on their end, they don't take accountability. They take the risk that, okay, well, you know, I have sex with him more. If I get pregnant, then I'm set. I'm good.
Yeah.
But now I could just expose him. I don't even have to get pregnant. So, you know what I'm saying? A win is a win. And then, okay, I exposed him. I said stuff about him. It's going to make me look bad. But these men are so, they led with desire that they're going to forget all the shit that I said about this nigga and how I tried to embarrass him. So I could still have a come up on the next man. Fast. So what is there really to lose by me playing with this man's emotions and exposing him? Okay.
See? I like that. That, I was, if I say that and I come out and say that, I'm going to sound like an bisexual.
Bisexual.
Just that, hey.
You could be a denier sexual, that's it.
I'm a denier sexual, cool. But they would destroy me on YouTube if I come out and say something like that. So I rather.
But I just want to make it very clear too. I'm just so y'all gotta do better.
Nah,
Place more value on y'all penises, on y'all worth. Y'all are worthy too. Y'all are valuable. Y'all don't have to have sex with everything out here.
Facts.
Y'all really don't. And then remember somebody else had said this. The whole the more you stay single, the worse it is going to be for your relationship and be married. Because a lot of times when you're single, you mess around with women who are married and you be the side dude.
I said that.
Yeah, I know. So I had put that in the comments you had said that. But it makes you mistrust women. I feel like it's the same.
It give you PTSD. I don't know if I've ever told you any of these stories, but I have stories of just you would look at women totally different when you realize what they get away with and how they get away with it, and that's gonna be in the back of your mind all the time. So yeah.
And but to my point, the more I don't know, this whole other thing, I feel I've been kind of seeing more and more how women can be. I know how men can be or whatever. Yeah. But I feel the other thing, it kind of just bursted open my eyes and exposed me, and attract like. So I really haven't been around women that do stuff like that. Yeah. It's kind of hard for me to believe a little bit. But
oh yeah, that makes sense. I remember what I used to tell you, and you used to be like, yeah, y'all stick together. So you used to come to the defense of the young ladies, but yeah, this shit is possible. All it takes, especially if you a dude in a high position, you know what I'm saying? You too famous. All it takes is a little dirt.
But that's even more of a reason why, I don't understand why men don't choose like one woman and really just stick with her, especially when you have more to lose. When you have nothing to lose, you shouldn't be a hoe, but it makes
easier.
more sense and it's easier for you
yeah.
to be a hoe.
Yeah.
When you have more to lose, why do you think wealthy men stay married? I'm not even on no for the Lord and for your morals. It's like strategically, it makes more sense to be married, or at least like I said, you have 3 women you trust. That's still a circle. You have to have a tight knit circle of friends, a woman you sleep with, everything. Yeah. But to my point, what I was saying is just like you don't think that I be doing all this whole stuff or whatever. He gonna come across a woman of value, equal value to him.
You're not gonna trust her.
You're not gonna trust her. That breaks my heart. Cause a lot of time it be women who like have high integrity, high morals, high value. Coming in life, they see themselves in you. See them as they equal, ready to like, you know what I'm saying, lay it all out. Yeah. And a nigga is just treating them like they something on the side of the street. Yeah. Like one of those. They're not the same. It's not fair and it's not right. And after these bitches done drain everything up out of you, then you want to be stingy in every way?
PTSD.
In every way?
PTSD.
The disrespect.
Yeah. But I mean, I did say like he got to hold himself accountable. He shouldn't be out here slinging wood like that, raw dog and joints. Even if like they quote unquote, he say, she say, I'm pregnant type situation, you don't really have 100% proof. But just because you put yourself in that situation where like you don't have no doubts, because there was one chick, he was like, well, she said she was pregnant, so you know, I was inclined to believe her. That's bad.
He acting like he's slow. What do you mean he was inclined to believe her? Why was he inclined? Because he was fucking raw, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then it's just like, yo, if y'all so just willy-nilly having sex raw after knowing each other for months, you don't think she might have just broke up with somebody who she was willy-nilly fucking raw?
Yeah.
And maybe we should have like a little willy-nilly DNA test?
Facts. But Shorty said she had an abortion. So there was no DNA test to be had.
I'm just saying though, like, you don't, in his mind, I was just inclined to believe it. No, you should be inclined to make sure the baby's yours. You don't. And I just don't, babe, like, I ain't gonna tell opposites like that, but we was in a relationship for a long time. And we had standards within our relationship. We wasn't even out here doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I'm not.
Because if you don't want to, even if you.
If a joint, look, my thing is, if a joint, when we wasn't together and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing my thing or whatever. When I was out here doing my thing, if a joint came up pregnant, the condom failed.
Not even that though. It's like if you're in a committed relationship and you know you're not ready for kids, why would you do things to increase your likelihood of having children? I'm saying we in a safe, structured space and we still choosing to, you know what I'm saying, take preventive measures. There's no reason why you out here in these little fake ass, cute ass, toxic ass relationships not doing the same thing.
Facts.
Are you crazy? Like, and I know people gonna be with their child. I didn't have this. I was teased when I was okay, but you're not a little boy anymore. You gotta make grown man decisions, okay? You could be a little boy when you want to buy little toys and cars to drive with, but shit that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. You gotta be a grown man about it.
Facts.
Tell a little boy to sit down, take a back seat for a little minute, go drive your fast ass car and get your thrills off with the little boy, and then come back to fucking reality when it comes to having sex without protection, AIDS, STDs, babies. Like, what's the
energy? Energy.
I done rubbed up off my husband.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Energy,
bro. He be talking about, he be just out of nowhere talking about the universe, energy. I'm like,
nah, that energy transfers, bro.
It does, but I know.
You ain't hear raw dog and joints, bro. Energy transfers, man. I don't want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, because we married. I don't want to say that.
What happened? Who siphoned your energy?
Nobody siphoned my energy, but I'm saying, like, I'll be cracking something, and I'll be like, even with a condom, I'll be like, all right.
Oh yeah, because that's the energetic it's not just sperm. It's just like you said, the transfer energy.
Yeah, but skeletons, bro.
Yeah, but you know what
everybody got some skeletons.
This is just like, honestly, I feel like this is just like the Cheyenne Brian thing. I really feel like this is going to propel him forward. This is just like some controversy that he has to deal with. But when we look like months from now, he's going to be in a better position.
I can see that. Hopefully this is a learning lesson for him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right.
Okay, guys.
End the video. I got to edit and then I got to go to work. Alright, y'all, this is the end of the video. Hopefully some clarification was had. Again, fly on the wall. This is none of our business. It's selfish entertainment. Okay? Meaning that we're being selfish for being entertained by somebody's hardship.